up, everyone? I'm Crystal. If you haven't been here before, it's gonna be a really different video from anything I've ever done before, because pretty much I've only done music videos. Okay, that's all I've ever done, is me playing an instrument or singing or something of that nature. But today I decided to just sit down and do something different, to just sit down and talk. So I've been watching a lot of Bunny's videos, which is Graveyard Girl. If you've never watched any of her videos, I highly suggest it. I love her. She's super funny. I just love watching her. And I watched some of her older videos recently, and she talked about the reason she first started YouTube was to help with her depression. She would be up late at night with nothing to do pretty much, so she would decide to just start filming. So that's pretty much the purpose of this video. I mean, I'm not up late at night right now. It's 1 in the afternoon. Actually, it's 2 in the afternoon. I just decided to sit down and film and just kind of talk to you guys about stuff, just to get my mind off of other things. So this is kind of more of like a meet the YouTuber, I guess, if you want to call it that. I mean, I'm not really good at this kind of stuff, but I figure if it helps me in the long run, then I don't really care if anybody really watches it or not. It just helps. So here I am. So my name's Crystal. I live in Wisconsin. That's not where a lot of YouTubers live. Mostly they live in like LA or somewhere else in California, or even like Florida, I guess. Something like that. Not really sure. Usually I hear of people living in LA. That's a common one. But nope, I'm up here in Wisconsin where it gets freezing cold in the winter and it's awful. But I'm 21 years old, not in college right now, just working. I currently work at Walmart as a cake decorator. It's a fantastic job. I love doing it. I'm actually good at it, surprisingly. Actually, it's not surprising. I'm pretty creative. It's something I really enjoy doing, so that's always a good thing. Right now, I moved back in with my parents, so living with them. We're redoing their kitchen right now, so it's a lot of loud nights where my dad's pounding on stuff and trying to get stuff done. But otherwise it's pretty chill here. I mean, I don't do much. I usually just lay in bed and watch TV or watch YouTube videos because I don't really have ambition to do anything anymore. So that's always great. But one of the biggest things is I've been dealing with depression since about my sophomore year of high school. So that's a big thing that has been affecting me. So that's about 5 years now. I've been dealing with depression and anxiety as well. I have only just recently started getting help with my depression. With my anxiety, I started taking medication for it when I started college. So I was around 18 or 19 when I started getting medication for my anxiety. And I now found out that that medication is supposed to help with my depression as well. However, it doesn't. So I do need to talk to my doctor about that and figure that out. But I've only had one appointment with my new therapist. That's a new adventure that I'm only just beginning. But yeah, I've only just started to get help with my depression that I've been dealing with for, like I said, 5 years. So it's been a long, bumpy road of just sadness, which has been really difficult. And it's been really difficult feeling like I have no one there to help me, even though I'm surrounded by people and surrounded by friends and family that I know love me and want to help me. But I just feel like I felt like I wasn't getting the help I needed. So it was just a long time struggle and constant everyday struggle for me, which I'm sure a lot of you have dealt with, and know what I'm going through or can relate. I just realized and just like noticed that I feel like I'm saying a lot, and it just started bothering me. That's part of my anxiety. I get like that sometimes. So when I like start noticing things, it'll bother me really bad. Like I'll like click pens a lot, but once I start noticing that I'm obsessively clicking the pen, it'll annoy me and I'll slam the pen down on the table. Ooh, that's bad. But anyway, I'm just not gonna let it bother me. Just gonna go past. Just fuck it. You're not helping. It's not helping. But it's just been really hard just knowing that you're surrounded by people and a lot of them just don't understand what you're going through. I only have one person in my family, I believe, that I know of, that's dealt with depression, and that's my oldest sister. But I mean, we've had issues before, so there's been a long period of time where we haven't been able to talk. So it's just been really difficult, especially with the one person that I know knows what I'm going through. I haven't been able to talk to. And then there's my other two sisters, one I'm not as close with, even though I love her to death. I wish we were closer, but we're just not. We're at two different spots in our lives, and we didn't grow up together, so we didn't have the chance to get closer. So, and then my other sister, who I'm actually really close with, she just doesn't really understand what I'm going through, because I mean, she doesn't have depression and anxiety. Unless you've had depression and anxiety, you don't really understand what it's like. And it's super hard for me to explain everything. So I just kind of, and my parents, like, my dad has dealt with addiction his entire adult life. He was an alcoholic. He smoked. I mean, that's not as big of a deal, one, but I mean, he had a heart attack, so he had to quit smoking. And then he was a drug addict, which I know some people are going to be like, why would you talk about that? But it's totally out in the open now. Like, we talk about it all the time. He's not really ashamed of it, I guess. I mean, I guess I don't really know. I can't really talk for him, but he doesn't hide it. Like, people know. And it's part of, I feel like, why I am the way I am. It was really hard for me dealing with him and his addiction, especially with me being there. Like my closest sister, she was away at college when we were dealing with the majority of it, so she didn't have to deal with it like right there, but I was still in high school and living with my parents, and then into my first year of college where I was still living at home and commuting. So I was there the whole time and having to deal with it. So that was hard. But just, I mean, I know my dad knows or like understands kind of how some of it is with dealing with addiction, stuff like that, but it's still not the same as dealing with depression and anxiety. And my mom I mean, she tries to relate, but I feel like it's just not the same. She tries to relate too much. So there's that issue. But it's just really hard knowing how much people love me and how much people want to be there for me, but feeling like nothing they do helps, because then I feel like I'm disappointing them and also still feeling crappy all the time. I mean, I'm really glad that I'm getting help now. Like I said, I've only had one session with my therapist, so I mean, it's gonna be a long road, but so far, even with the one session, it was helpful. It really was. So I really expect good things to come out of it. Other people, if you have depression and anxiety, like, I understand. I understand how hard it is. I know how much it sucks. Just know that you're never alone. Just know that there are people out there who understand. That's one big thing that I have struggled with, especially because my depression and anxiety has come out of, it came from me having multiple concussions. I've had 6 concussions since ninth grade. I feel like that's where it originated from, because I never used to have anxiety or depression before that. So I never felt like people understood how it was for me, because it wasn't something that I chose, I guess. Not, that's the wrong thing to say. It wasn't something that, it was just something that happened. Like, I got concussions and it was something that affected my head. Like, I don't have brain damage like I thought I did, but it's still really difficult, and I still have memory issues, not from brain stuff, but from being overwhelmed and stressed all the time. I'll have periods where pretty much my brain goes back in time where I think I don't live here with my parents anymore, and then I'll go to bed and wake up and don't remember that any of it happened. So that's really stressful. It's just, I've had times where I feel like nobody understands what I'm going through, and I still feel like that, just because I've never met anybody who is going through exactly what I'm going through with, like, the concussions, and memory stuff, plus the anxiety and depression. But I've come to realize more that it doesn't matter where your depression and anxiety came from. You still have depression and anxiety, and people still understand what depression and anxiety is like. It doesn't matter if you have memory stuff on top of it, or if they came from concussions, or just from, like, PTSD or stuff like that. Depression and anxiety are depression and anxiety. So you're not alone with the feelings you get of just being sad all the time. You're not alone with feeling your heart race, or, like, feeling your heart race and feeling super overwhelmed when you're in a group of people, or feeling shaky and your heart race and your mind race and everything when you're up in front of people, or just thinking about getting up in front of people. Like, you're not alone in that. I feel that too, and I feel depression for no reason. I randomly will wake up and feel depression. I will feel depressed just waking up on a normal day with nothing even happened yet. And I don't want people, like, it sucks having depression and anxiety, but, like, and I don't want other people to have depression and anxiety, but I really want to know that I'm not alone. Like, especially, like I said before, with not having really family, who knows what I'm going through, it's just nice to know that I'm not crazy, I guess, that other people wake up with depression just randomly. It's not my goal to just have people miserable with me, but I mean, it's just like anybody with it. This isn't a disability, but like anybody with anything, like the deaf community, like they identify with each other because they know what they're going through. Alcoholics, addicts, it sucks that they're addicts, but they're a community. They know what each other is going through and they can help each other out. That's more like what I'm asking for, I guess. So just, I mean, you don't have to. If you want to, you can leave a comment below telling me I'm not crazy and that you feel the same way I do sometimes. But you know, this isn't for sympathy, I guess. It's just kind of explaining why I'm, I guess, vlogging or just making regular videos instead of videos with music in them, and then also trying to explain that you're not alone if you have depression, anxiety, or even concussions and the after effects of concussions. And I guess just kind of starting to form another community within YouTube as well. So yeah, that's really all I have for today. It was nice to just kind of talk it out by myself, I guess, in this room. I don't know, it's weird to have the first time being by yourself and really like having a conversation. So, I mean, like I said, just pop a comment down below. You can really talk about anything if you want. But yeah, I'll try and make more videos more often than I was doing music. I'll probably throw in some music here and there, but who knows. Yeah, but for now, just keep your head up. I know all this stuff is cheesy, but keep your head up. Don't give up. Yeah, have a good day. See you guys later.